Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm so delighted to have each of you here this evening to join me in some mindful meditation. And so before we move into the formal practice, just wanted to make mention of something that I noticed this morning. So I woke up, looked outside. It was a beautiful morning where I live, and grabbed my cup of coffee. I went out onto the deck and I noticed that the air was already crisp and cool. And to me, this signified a change in the seasons that's coming. It started to feel like summer may be on the end and that fall is soon approaching. And there was something so beautiful about sitting outside and just feeling this cool breeze on my skin. And thinking of fall and the change of seasons really made me reflect on how it's a wonderful time to really refresh and renew. And practicing mindfulness and practicing meditation is a really great way to become refreshed and to renew our spirits and to renew ourselves. And so is nature. Nature is a wonderful way to really refresh. And so with that, tonight I hope to connect mindfulness meditation practice with nature and use nature as an inspiration to really tap in and to tune into ourselves and to all of the beauty that surrounds us. And so with that, I wanted to share a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh, because today we'll be participating in a walking meditation. And I think this is just such a lovely quote, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So the quote is, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." And I think there's something so sweet and special about that. And so with that, I invite you to come to a stand-in mountain pose. So perhaps pushing aside your chair. I'm going to do the same on my end over here. And so coming to stand-in mountain pose, the posture of dignity and stability. And if you prefer to stay seated, that's okay too. And just maybe allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. And noticing the feet making contact with the floor. So sensing into the contact that the feet are making with the ground beneath you. Really noticing the sensations that can be felt on the soles of the feet. Using this as an opportunity to drop into the body. Using this as an opportunity to ground into the present moment experience. And if you are standing or sitting, just moving up to the body and into the knees, noticing what can be sensed or felt here. If you're standing, perhaps giving the knees a slight bounce. That feels right. Moving up the body, maybe finding a little extra length in the spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Maybe shrugging the shoulders once up to the ears and releasing them back down to the sides of the body. Maybe doing that one more time if that felt good, lifting the shoulders up toward the ears and releasing them back down to the sides of the body. And perhaps inviting a softening in the face. So maybe softening the forehead, perhaps slackening the jaw, releasing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And as you stand here in mountain pose, maybe embracing the qualities of the mountain. So maybe feeling strong and stable, maybe feeling rooted and grounded and connected. So just taking a moment to reflect on the qualities of the mountain and seeing if it's a possibility to bring these qualities into your own body. Taking a moment to do this. And now imagining as if you are a tree, perhaps a beautiful oak tree out in a meadow somewhere. And imagining as if your feet are the roots, really grounding into the earth and giving you a sense of stability. And then imagining as if a gentle breeze is swaying you from side to side. And with that, just begin to rock the body from side to side. So gently swaying the body from the right to the left, swaying the body from one side to the other. Maybe noticing your balance. Perhaps having some gratitude for having balance, for having some stability because of the feet. And just noticing what it's like to shift the weight of the body from one side to the other. Maybe sensing the subtle shifts in sensation from one sole of the foot to the other sole of the foot. Just noticing what this is like. And then coming back to some stillness once again. And now maybe gently rocking the body forward and back. So shifting the weight of the body from the balls of the feet to the heels. And again, using this subtle shift of sensation that can be felt on the soles of the feet as a way to anchor into the body, as a way to anchor into this present moment. And then coming back to some stillness. And we're going to move into a walking meditation. And so although you can't see the soles of my feet, just listening to the guided instruction that I make verbally. And so I'm going to turn to the side this way and imagining as if there's a 3-foot lane in front of you, about the distance of a yoga mat. And so we're going to use this imaginary lane as a way to know how far we'll walk. Once we reach this 3-foot distance approximately, just turning around and walking in the opposite direction. And so gently beginning to shift the weight of the body into the left foot and allowing the right heel to come off of the floor, extending the right foot forward and placing the sole of the right foot down, and then allowing the left foot to come up, extending the left foot forward and placing the left foot down. And continuing to do this until you reach the end of your imaginary lane. And once you've reached the end of your imaginary lane, beginning to turn the body, walking in the opposite direction. And using the soles of the feet as the way to ground into the moment. So just as we focus on the breath, inhalation, exhalation, use the feet as our anchor. Right foot, left foot. Continuing to notice the sensations that can be felt on the soles of the feet. Just noticing your feet as they kiss the earth, as Thich Nhat Hanh says. And perhaps with each step, you can feel grounded and connected to Mother Earth that's beneath you. Maybe by sensing into the sensations on the soles of the feet, you can sense into Mother Earth. And continuing this walking meditation at your own pace. And although perhaps you're moving slowly, you can notice a sense of steadiness or ease, maybe adjusting the pace to feel like you're walking at an appropriate time and pace. And if the mind has wandered away, just coming back to the sensations of the soles of the feet once again. Knowing that each moment is an opportunity to begin again. Each step we have an opportunity to begin anew. And then when you're ready, coming back to mountain pose once again. Maybe allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze. Taking a moment to scan the body from the soles of the feet all the way to the crown of the head. And when you're ready, gently allowing the eyes to open and making your way back to your seat. And doing so with intention. So setting an intention to pay attention to this moment of transition. Transitions are a really wonderful opportunity for us to have some continuity in our practice, to really pay attention to the moment. And once you found your seat, allowing the eyes to close or softening the gaze once more. And taking a moment now to tune into the breath, to tune into our sustaining life force. So much of nature around us is alive. The trees, the grass, the insects and animals. And we all breathe the breath of life. And so tuning into your own breath of life, resting the awareness on each inhalation and each exhalation. Just staying with the breath as best you can. And knowing that throughout this practice, the mind will wander. And that's okay, because that's what our minds do. But as you notice the mind wandering, just coming back to the breath again. Continuing to follow the breath cycle, breath by breath and moment by moment. Just noticing one breath in, one breath out. Another breath in, another breath out. Continuing to stay with our rhythmic breath. Doing the best that you can to stay with each inhalation. And doing the best that you can to stay with each exhalation. Just following the breath all the way to the end. Perhaps noticing the pause of the breath before the next breath cycle. Where's the mind? If it's wandered off in thought, knowing that's okay, but just coming back to the breath once again. Coming back to our tried and true companion, the breath. And begin to observe the characteristics of the breath. Maybe noticing some subtleties of the breath or nuances of the breath. Bringing a kind, curious eye and attention to the breath. No need to change the breath in any way, just simply observing and noticing. And now shifting our focus of attention onto sound. So noticing sounds near to you, perhaps internal sounds. Maybe noticing sounds farther off in the distance. No need to search for sound, just allowing sound to enter the ears for sound's sake. And if you're outdoors, perhaps noticing sounds of nature. Maybe noticing the leaves rustling in the wind as the trees sway side to side. Maybe noticing a subtle chirp of insects, of birds speaking to one another. Or if you're indoors, just noticing what can be heard within your home or your space. So just taking some time now to sit and notice sound. And if the mind is lost in thought, just coming back to sound once again. Continuing to stay with sound as best you can. Using sound as an anchor into this moment. Is the mind still on sound? If it's wandered away, coming back to sound once again. And I'm going to read a poem by Sarah Tisdale called Summer Midnight. Lyric night of the lingering summer, shadowy fields that are scentless but full of singing. Many a bird and the passionate chant of insects, ceaseless, insistent. The grasshopper's horn, and far off, high in the maples, the wheel of a locust leisurely grinding the silence. Under a moon waning and worn, tired with summer. Let me remember you, voices of little insects, weeds in the moonlight, fields that are tangled with asters. Let me remember, soon will the fall be on us, and I will gaze upon fields full of harvest. And so taking a few moments to allow the sound of those words to wash over you if they resonate. And then connecting back into the soles of the feet. So coming back to the soles of the feet once again. Tuning back into this contact. Sensing into Mother Earth below you. And as you continue your week, maybe remembering that there's an opportunity at any moment to ground back into the soles of the feet, to use the feet as an anchor into the moment. So I invite you to practice that this week if that feels right and resonates. And then just taking one deep breath, inhaling fully and exhaling completely as we bring the meditation to a close. And if your eyes have been closed, I invite you to allow them to open. Maybe taking a moment to look around, and if you have some nature near you or a window near you, maybe just observing how beautiful nature really is, how inspiring it can be. And I want to say thank you very much for participating. It was such a joy having you here. Thank you, John. I'm so happy that you're here and that you were able to participate. And thank you all so much for being here. I wish you a wonderful week, and I hope to see you soon. We will begin a webinar series that will be focusing on the 9 foundational attitudes of mindfulness. And each week we'll be going through a different attitude. And so I hope to see you there. Everyone be well and take care, and enjoy this beautiful weather if you can. Bye-bye.